We are talking Biller Genie coming up next. For those of you who don't know, it's billergenie.com, just the way that you think it should be spelled. Charles?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, with a G and everything, not with a J.
I like G. I like Biller with a G. All right, so Keith, I want to kick this off in a very direct way. The problem that you solve for franchisors is what?
Yeah, so your franchisees may be struggling with accounts receivable. Cash flow is king, right? We all want to have profitable franchisees. To do that, they actually need to be able to get the money in for the products and services that they're selling. So we take that process and we simplify it, ease it, and actually give you as the franchisor control, which is really hard to do. We integrate with QuickBooks. It's a two-way integration. So we're taking data from QuickBooks. We're taking your invoice then and making it actually look like your brand as opposed to a QuickBooks green invoice like everyone else. Actually putting your domain name on there as well. So the send is from your actual franchise location's domain name, so we can customize that. And then we're actually giving you the ability to do reminders, to do late payment fees. Beyond that, we can actually do dual pricing. So if your brand or your franchise is not actually passing forward those fees that you're being charged every time a credit card's processed, you're missing out on potentially 3% that you could be saving. So we can actually provide you with dual pricing, which is different than surcharging. And there's a lot of different legalities involved. So dual pricing is a much simpler way of going about it because it gives people the option to pay by credit card or cash or ACH. And then you can also set up so it'll pay automatically. So like I was just talking to a franchisor yesterday, and he's using it for his royalty payments. So it'll invoice their franchisees on day 1, and on day 10, it'll take that payment automatically. So lots of ways that we can simplify the process, and you give from a franchisor perspective. Now you got visibility into what's really happening on the AR side of the business, because that franchisee might be saying, look, I've got no cash flow. I've got no cash in the bank. I can't pay payroll. And he's got 90 days, $100,000, 90 days overdue invoicing, and you have no idea. So this gives you a lot of visibility there.
Who are you selling to at the franchisor? Like who's your typical buyer at the franchisor?
Yeah, the operations team usually is involved with it. CFOs, a lot of CFOs are getting involved with us, and then everything down from there. We actually work directly with franchisees. A lot of we're Biller Genie's been around for almost 7 years now, unknown to the franchise world because we're just starting to really kind of hit this hard. But we have over 400 franchisees that use the platform, from brands like Horsepower and PureClean and CertaPro and Puddle Pools and a number of others. And they're using it. They've come to us through our other partner channels. Our partners are the people who are doing the credit card processing. So we've been working. And so we get a lot of that downward, that we get a lot of franchisees that are coming to us, and then the franchisor saying, hey, I noticed like 14 of my franchisees are talking about you guys. So it's been a lot of those kind of conversations over the last 4 months.
Well, I'm going to maybe oversimplify, maybe overcomplicate, but to me, it sounds like part of the problem you solve is if it's faster collections, that means faster royalty for the franchisor. So 100%. If there's cash flow issues for the franchisor, this helps solve it for them. At the same time, helping solve it for the franchisees. So it doesn't. Yeah. If you don't have this in place, then you're leaving it. You're giving another task to the franchisee who probably was never in collections or finance before buying a franchise, and you're leaving it in their hands. This automates that process.
100%. And also, so once we collect we're not in charge of the flow of funds, but we can see it because of the integrations that we have. And so we don't actually mark the invoices paid until funds are in the bank account, which is different. So if you have a bounced payment, right, QuickBooks will mark that invoice as paid, even though you never received funds. So you've got to go in and do a manual reconciliation. Even what we do is we actually auto reconcile any invoice that comes in. So if you're batching out 100 invoices at a time with deposits and so on and so forth, you don't have to worry about going in, especially to your point, Nick. Franchisees, how many times franchisees do you meet or you talk to a franchisor, they're like, my franchisees don't understand the financial side. They don't understand read a P&L balance sheet. Like it seems to be a weak point, especially when we're getting those W-2 kind of corporate refugee franchisees into our systems, right? They just have never been exposed to these elements sometimes. So here's another way that you can take that QuickBooks reconciliation, which if you don't like QuickBooks and you don't like the tediousy of accounting, you're going to hate doing that. And now your franchisee, if you save them, let's say 20 minutes a day, how many more phone calls can they make? How many more sales can they make? Right? I mean, that's how many hours in a month, right? So there's a lot of opportunity to automate some of these pieces that we're not doing right now.
Final opening question for me. I mean, I love QuickBooks' new AI feature for helping me understand balance sheet and P&L, and me asking it questions for comparisons. Where should I be at? It's awesome. Is that something that you're looking to integrate into you guys? Do you even need to integrate something like that, or an AI feature into it, or is it just kind of is what it is?
Yeah, it kind of is what it is. We've got our own AI tools that we're building into the platform to make it easier to manipulate, easier to do. It's funny, we're a really big company that no one's ever heard of. We have over 85 employees throughout the world. We actually have over 25 developers. Well, I think it's up to 27 now in Belfast, Northern Ireland. That's where our development team's located. So the amount of updates and the technology that we're building into the platform, it's amazing today. Like we work with Xero and QuickBooks and some others, but we're going to be an open API platform here even by the end of the year. So the short answer is no. We don't really worry about what the QuickBooks AI tool is doing because we've got enough on our own end, I think. But that's one of the features that I think sets us apart too. Is not only do we have software, we have support. So you're not going to be a QuickBooks expert. We've got our support team. Like these people are QuickBooks experts. They actually know how to manipulate QuickBooks to make it do what you need to do. And they're available to you once you become a client. So it's a really interesting. Bill or Genie is a really cool company, actually. I know I'm wearing a shirt, but like I'm still new here. I've only been here since January. And the more you learn about how we're doing and how we're building, I'm like, man, like this is cool. This is some good shit.
Keith, what does the before and after look like? Franchisor coaching their franchisees, cash flow, not having those receivables creep up. We're going to bring in Bill or Genie or implement this, or franchisees are implementing it. What does the before and after look like in terms of they're using the same accounting systems, the integration, and what are the insights and changes that franchisees should be experiencing?
Yeah, great question. So we do a lot of the lift of the integration piece. So like to sync to QuickBooks, that takes our system seconds, literally. We do a lot of hand holding though. And the goal is that you don't actually change your process. If you're building that invoice today in QuickBooks, you're going to still build it in QuickBooks. The only difference is at the bottom, there's a save and send button and a save button. And setting save and send, you're going to hit save. Once you hit save, it integrates with Bill or Genie. We pull it out of there and then make it look like yours. And then we start the entire process of reminders, late fees, yada, yada. The dual pricing, all that takes over, right? So from a franchisor perspective, you've now eliminated steps in your day. You don't have to worry about going in and clicking that button and then going back in and then waiting for that invoice to be paid and then coming back in. It's automating all of that. And QuickBooks allows you to send 3 invoices. You can send 3 invoices in 3 minutes with Bill or Genie. You can send 100 invoices. We don't care. You can send 100 reminders. Like it's completely customizable. And from the franchisor side, you've got visibility downstream, and you actually even get to put in the commentary or the actual like T's and C's. You can put in what you want to be said on every one of your invoices that are going out for your brand. So God forbid you have that franchisee that wants to get a late payment in there and says, he's Timmy Two Tones and he's like, hey, how you doing? I'm going to break your knees. You don't pay my invoice, right? Like you don't have to worry about that. Timmy's taken away. His voice is taken away, and you can have the voice from the brand be the one who's speaking every time.
I feel like that should be the name of your AI tool.
Timmy Two Tones, Timmy Two Knees. Hey, how you just doing?
So pricing wise, because obviously that's going to come up with a franchise or a franchisee. How do you guys make your money?
Yeah, good question. So typically what we do is we charge a fee plus 50 basis points on any invoice that runs through our platform, which is a variable cost. franchisors love variable costs, right? They love being able to talk to a potential franchisee and say, yeah, you're going to have this technology platform that's this price plus whatever. So what we do for franchise systems is we look at the totality of your system and say, okay, what's it really look like? What's it going to look like on a monthly basis? How many dollars are really going to be flowing through Bill or Genie? And then let's come up with a static price for you. And so we do it really by brand, by the flow that's going on. And even like with some of the brands that we're working with today, we're even like, we know that they've got 90-day ramp up periods. So we're looking at that and going, okay, so for 90 days, we can do a reduced price. And then at 90 days, it'll kick off and go up in scale. So it's really it's a good back and forth. And I think now we're not just charging, like if you're at a micro emerging brand, you might not be a couple $100 might sound like a lot, but it's really not when you think about the savings that you're getting from even just passing on that credit card surcharge or fee that you have. That 3%, like if you're using QuickBooks as your processing tool, you're paying at least 3%. And QuickBooks does not allow you to pass that charge on to your client. So you have to eat it. So you take that 3%, all of a sudden you move it off of your books, and 100% of the dollars coming to you are actually, you're actually now, and to your point earlier about royalties, you're now making a 6% royalty on $100 as opposed to 97.
Well, even bigger on that is you're talking about penny savings in a business that strips off pennies from a franchisee. And so if you can find ways to reverse those few points, you just like that drops directly to the bottom line.
100%. Right. And some of the brands, right, margins are tight. Things are tough right now in a lot of businesses. Right. And if you can say, and the consumer right now, right, like you go to a restaurant and you go to put your credit card down, you know that there's a credit card surcharge. It's here's your bill plus the 3%. Plus there's 4 of you at the table, so here's an 18% tip already too, by the way, right? Like we've become accustomed to knowing that we're eating the feast. Thank you, Ticketmaster, for starting that many years ago. And damn it, if Pearl Jam had won, maybe we wouldn't be paying all these fees. But anyways, that's a whole different story. But the consumer is aware of it; they're used to it. So it's a learned behavior. Even you're not going to have a lot of pushback on that end either.
Keith, you're involved in the franchise world for many years. As you now work on Bill or Genie and you're growing the platform in the franchise space, what are you seeing on the ground? Franchisors, emerging growth, are they, from a cash flow perspective, franchisee growth perspective, like what are they sharing with you?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I think we're seeing a big turn right now in the industry. Like we've talked about how important.
Keith, your mic's kicking out a little, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in a hotel room, so it could be the internet too. Like I'm in Manhattan for the IFE so I'm in Manhattan, then I'm in Baltimore, then I'm in New Jersey. I'm going back and forth. Can't wait. Anyways, what was I saying? It was a really good thought. It was brilliant. Oh, so no, what we're seeing right now, Ray, is this fundamental switch of instead of talking about AUV only, we're actually seeing a lot of brands that are really hyper focused on this right now. Look, Dev has been down for since the end of 24, kind of that last fourth quarter of 24 is when we saw that dip in lead volumes, right? So I think we're starting to see this swing over now, and franchisors are really looking at it saying, how can I help? Where are the pieces of this puzzle? And AR it's not sexy by any stretch of the imagination. Like, who wants to talk about accounts receivable? Like, I know I don't. Like, come find me at the bar on Monday night. You won't hear me talk about accounts.
I'm going to bring it up. Monday night, I'm all about accounts receivable when we talk.
We can talk Tuesday morning. No, but you don't. You really see, we really have seen this swing. So we're starting to see franchise systems, the ones that I've been talking to, especially really looking at the bottom line, saying, how do I change little? And we're kind of an easy button, for lack of a better term. The beauty of Bill or Genie is from a user perspective. Once you're set up on the platform, you're not going into the platform. Now, a franchisor will, because they're going to want to see reporting. They're going to see the cash. They're going to want to see what's going on. But from a franchisee perspective, like we tell our users when we're going through the setup process with them, our goal is that you never log into Bill or Genie because it's just operating in the background. And now it's saving you 3-4% every month. It's massive.
I mean, you said it's not sexy to talk about this, but I think you've done a good job of being excited about a topic.
Well, I mean, look, you know me. And I get excited about actually helping the people that we're supposed to be helping in this industry,
That's
which
what
is
it
the freaking franchisees, right? Like,
That's what it is.
you know, I love it. I mean, it's fun working on something where you can go like, I can actually affect the franchisees in a positive way. I mean, I like look, other business that I've worked for have been the same way. And don't get me wrong, like I like that too. But I don't know. There's when you're in the foxhole, it feels a little different.
Well, and it's not a sexy conversation, accounts receivable, but my experience is it's a shocking conversation because when it comes up, it's like, why are our receivables so high? Right. And it's cash flow, lifeblood of franchise system. And I think you're right too, Keith. As more challenges and opportunities come about, franchisors are going to be reinforced to focus on system network and the unit economics of the franchisees. And that's what's going to win and that's what's going to sell. Keith, it'll be interesting. It's first year not going to IFE. So look forward to hearing your feedback on that. But really glad you're going to be joining us in Red Bank next week for Fran Camp. And looking forward to seeing you. And I promise no one is talking about accounts receivable on Monday night for sure.
Well, after 9, I should qualify that. It's really after 9 that
right.
I don't want to talk about. Like before 9, I get it. We can all talk about
actually, if I
9.
have too much tequila, I think we're going to just start a accounts receivable conversation.
That's fine. Give me a bourbon. I'll start it. All
right, good.
Issue with that statement is Charles said if. When he has too much tequila, he will talk about accounts receivable.
Yeah, I probably used if too about bourbon, and it's definitely a when, not an if. Yeah, as my wife would very clearly, and ironically, so my wife is a graduate of Red Bank Catholic.
Get it? Really?
100%.
Have you ever you've been here to Red Bank?
Not my first time staying at the Molly Pitcher. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Yeah, my sons almost went to Red Bank Catholic.
Oh, really? No,
they ended up going to an all boys school, but it's a beautiful school. That's pretty crazy though. That's great to hear.
Yeah, it's really cool. I try to get her to come with me, but she doesn't like work, Keith.
Keith, I'm looking forward to seeing you next week and appreciate it. I'm looking forward to having you guys there.
We'll see work Keith in 1 week.
Yeah, we will. Just a few days.
Just a few days.
Just counting down.
It is a countdown.
All right, guys. Thanks, Keith.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.